there something wrong with Ben?
Am I bananas for the new Rabid Monkey movie? Let's talk a little bit about it. Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. If you're excited for some upcoming horror releases, then make sure to like this video and subscribe to this page for more review videos just like this one. Also, the best way to support this spooky page is by becoming a Patreon supporter or channel member, where you'll receive exclusive review videos. Patreon supporters even get to see trailer reactions that YouTube isn't too friendly with. Thank you all so much for keeping me in business. Now let's get into the review. Lucy's tropical island homecoming turns deadly when her family's clever chimpanzee Ben becomes rabid. With her father away and no help coming, paradise becomes a prison as Lucy and her friends fight for survival against a pet they once trusted. PRIMATE just celebrated a pretty solid opening weekend, reeling in 13.4 million worldwide, and some pretty decent word of mouth. Most reviewers seem to really like this one, outside of those who walked out of the film, of course. PRIMATE has been a surprisingly exciting entry to kick off this year of horror with there's gore, there's drama, and there is also a fella inside of that rubber chimpanzee suit. Let's talk a little bit about it. I enjoyed PRIMATE more than I probably should have. There's not really any major plot or character stuff that actually ends up going anywhere, but the film is a non-stop animal attack thrill ride that will certainly satiate gorehounds and horror fans alike. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but from a technical perspective, PRIMATE is fantastic. The lighting, the editing, the cinematography, and the score enhances every moment of this borderline nonsensical romp. While it is easy to poke holes in the plot of this film, the goofy tone that crescendos throughout the entire flick also makes this one feel much more self-aware. That to me is the difference between a forgettable B-movie and a great one. I also think that same increasingly goofy tone is present in Ben's actual performance here. Miguel Torres Umba does an excellent job of bringing the evil monkey to life without ever forgetting this is an animal at the end of the day. Just like Dangerous Animals from last year, PRIMATE makes a big point to remind you that this is an animal at the end of the day. There is a little bit of tragedy here. It's not exactly the main emotion I'm feeling watching this monkey laugh as he's killing some of these people. It's a very funny movie, but it does find these little moments of being grounded outside of the very heightened story that is mostly taking place here. There's these few little subtle moments where Ben kind of stops attacking and like maybe thinks about what he's doing for a second, at least that's kind of how it feels, but then he's just right back to the rampage. Most outrageous movies like this don't have those soft little moments, but they do go a long way for me, and it's clearly a product of a filmmaker who's been around the block a few times. A lesser creative might not have put such a big focus on that. I cannot sing the praises of Johannes Roberts enough. We love him around here. In turn, however, this vile ape made me crack up a few times. This is a mostly spoiler-free review, but one kill early on sees the chimp rip one of the characters out of a cliffside pool over the edge and to their death after a neck-snapping fall. The little guy just sits there and starts laughing after he does this, like he just threw a cream pie into somebody's face. Fuck this dude. I love him. That is the funniest shit I have ever seen. What? On top of that, I think the gore is enough here to even impress a Terrifier fan, and that really goes a long way. I mean, none of these kills feel disappointing in my opinion. There are entire slasher films I saw last year where even the best kill in those movies are like the worst one here in PRIMATE. 2025 was such a rough year for slashers. If there's any like energy I can put out into the world here in 2026, please let the slashers be better. It's not looking so good though, because I think the first one I'm seeing is Strangers Chapter 3, so some might feel like PRIMATE is a little too pastiche as it features a few sequences that mimic other movies, but I just see it as a tip of the hat. One of the most obvious, there is a blatant reference to Cujo here that I actually really appreciated. It was still effective even if it felt like something else. I think some moviegoers believe that once a scene is created, we can like never do that again. Like anytime another movie riffs on a similar idea, it needs to be policed with a bunch of copyright all over the screen. But I just disagree with that. I kind of loved this less spoilery scene in particular where Ben is rummaging through a closet trying to find Lucy and Kate, who are hiding in there trying to be quiet. And as he's scanning through, you see his breath come up on like this plastic covering of some sort of suit or dress or whatever. To me, it feels like a mix between Halloween's closet scene as well as Jurassic Park's raptors in the kitchen sequence. Some are gonna probably take issue with this. I don't know, man. I'd rather see a movie like this pay homage, stand on the shoulders of giants, science versus pretentiously pretending like they're coming up with something new, reinventing the wheel. This movie is certainly not doing that, and it knows it's not doing that. I think that's kind of why I respect it and can have fun with it. In every way, this movie delivered on what I wanted it to. It is just an 89-minute version of the opening scene of Nope. Let's be honest, that's a thought that a lot of us B-movie fans had coming out of Nope. I loved that movie for what it stands for. It's a very high-concept film, but there was a part of me, a different part of my brain than the part that loved Nope, that was like, I kind of want to just see like a Gordy's Home movie, like just Jordan Peele having some fun. It's just totally mindless monkeys ripping people apart on like a studio set. That sounds like a really good time. This is that movie. That would be an insane double feature. There are some B-movies that fail because they are needlessly larger in scope than what they really need to be. Sometimes an audience just wants to see a chimp rip people apart for a nice little quick watch. Not everything needs to be Jordan Peele's Nope. This flick never overstays its welcome and ends right before the joke gets old. There's other movies like this that would spend way too much time over-explaining where that rabid mongoose came from and how rabies got into Hawaii, even though the dad said that's not really here. I don't care about that. I just want to see monkey rip face off. Will he eat face too? Find out theater now. A few other things I want to address in this review. We might not have gotten a Scream 7 teaser like many fans thought, but we did end up getting a little teaser trailer for a new film called Passenger, which comes out this upcoming May. It certainly has my attention after seeing this insane little teaser. I don't know if there's any photos of it online, but basically it's just these two guys. They're in a car driving late at night on some sort of road trip. One of the dudes gets out to take a little tinkle, and when he gets back to the car, all the doors are open and the other guy is gone. Our main dude gets into the driver's seat, and once he does that, other dude comes blasting through the windshield, covered in blood, freaking out. He gets ripped away by something. As our main dude in the driver's seat starts to drive away, he notices a hitchhiker that's just standing on the road. The same guy he keeps passing and passing and passing until finally, jump scare, he's in the passenger seat. Listen, I don't know what director Andre Overdahl has in store for us, but this might be his best flick yet. This is, in my humble opinion, a really solid little teaser trailer, and even got the best reaction of the entire evening. No shade towards PRIMATE. Someone a few rows in front of us actually yelped during this jump scare. It's that effective, that well done. Wow. Check out Passenger on May 29th. I am really excited for this one. Might be the sleeper hit of 2026. Now, like I was saying at the beginning of this review, there has been some drama here on YouTube regarding a reviewer who walked out of the film 2/3 of the way through. Grace Randolph of Beyond the Trailer admitted that she walked out of this movie giving it a really negative review over on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, on one hand, I do kind of understand where Grace is coming from in the sense that I have seen 2/3 of a movie before and been like, there's nothing they can do in the third act to redeem itself. I have seen many movies like that, and I've been right almost every single time. But I also feel like you can't confidently review a film unless you've seen all of it. Now, you guys might have heard me talk about this a little bit over on my live streams, but I did walk out of the film Clown in a Cornfield. But I waited about 90% of the film to get confirmation on if I was totally right about all my predictions regarding the film, and sadly I was. Now, before I publicly talked about this movie in my 10 disappointing movies of 2025 list that came out last month, I did finish the last like 8-ish minutes that I missed. Having seen the entire film, I can still confidently say it is one of the worst horror films I've ever paid money to see. But there's a difference between someone like me who barely has 40,000 subscribers here on YouTube versus Grace Randolph, who's nearing 1 million subscribers on YouTube, as well as is a certified Rotten Tomatoes critic. That's the most popular website for movie news or just movie ratings in general. The majority of the general audience decides if they're going to see a movie or not based on the Rotten Tomatoes score. Whether you agree with that or not, because Rotten Tomatoes is rigged, and we brought this up before on the page many times, this is sadly the truth. Especially a movie like PRIMATE, where I was kind of saying earlier, the tone shifts so drastically from start to finish. It's kind of in this like grounded place in its first act, but then as we get into Act 3, it goes full camp mode. Had she actually finished the third act, she may have had a different opinion on the film, which could have affected her review in a different way. It just goes to show that if you're reviewing movies, especially if you're a Rotten Tomato critic, you gotta at least finish them. This is not that tough of a job to do, trust me. I thank my lucky stars every single day that I get to do this goofy shit. Johannes Roberts continues to be super underrated. Give him his damn flowers. Movies like PRIMATE, Welcome to Raccoon City, Strangers Pray at Night, VHS 99, great stuff from this dude. What did you guys think about PRIMATE though? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.